Welcome back, everyone. It's great to see you. It's going to be the session number 8 right now of the Great Pitch Contest semifinals. In a second, I will be joined by our judges here, so I hope that you'll be able to see them soon. I think it's just happened. So please welcome Joseph Savarimutu from Salesforce, Jakob Kleyhuis from APX, Emily Zen from NEA, and Marcus Vogt from EBV Electronic. Hello, good to see you. Some of you again, some of you for the first time. And right now, we will be joined by the first startup that is going to pitch today in this MedTech slot, and it's Lorenzo. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so let's add your presentation to the stream.
Okay.
Perfection. I'm setting the clock to 3 minutes, and you can start now. Good luck.
Perfect. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Lorenzo Di Almeida, the CEO of IntelliArts. Our aim is to democratize health technology, providing scientific accuracy to mobile and wearable devices. We focus on cardiac and respiratory disease, which are the top 5 cases of death in Europe and USA. And unfortunately, in Asia, the situation is not different. Using devices already on the market, our algorithms grant an affordable access to personalized health analysis and continuous real-time and long-term monitoring of vital parameters. Our app creates a series of charts personalized for each user, useful to evaluate some essential vital parameters such as blood pressure, oxygen saturation, and heart rate. And even more, our algorithm analyzes every bit of the ECG track, the emotion detection, and the breath of sound. Our cardiac detection algorithms hit the 95% of accuracy, but its unique value proposition is the ability to detect the several cardiological patterns more than our competitors. Even more, we perform emotion detection, and we reach the 96% of accuracy for COPD detection, beating any other similar solution. Our competitors are Cardia, Empatica, and Waitings. Some of them miss the possibility to track vital parameters. Others are not wearable. Others are fancy, but with a lack of a scientific accuracy. For sure, none of them is an affordable price and all the features that we can provide and that we know customers are looking for. Our business model is a B2B2C for companies and AI API selling that grant an easy access and implementation of our technology. For customers, we offer a freemium app based on an invite-only system to join to create hype. Our motto is, we care about your health. That's why we offer 3 different subscription models, and some of them with a device included. We are looking to raise 100K to improve our app and execute clinical trials. After that, we are going to need 280K to launch our B2C solution. We plan to reach the break-even point between the first and second year, collecting 4 million revenue until the third year. And we are perfectly in time with our roadmap. And we are even anticipating some steps like the B2B proposal and the partnerships. Our team is done by 3 startup veterans. Lorenzo Di Almeida is an entrepreneur focused on business and sales. Vincenzo Lentamaro is a PhD in medical AI, CTO of one of the most important AI companies in Europe. And Luigi Moretti is a medical doctor with a transversal competencies in tech. The Medical University of Lodz is going to support us to execute clinical trials. Thank you for watching. And here you can see some of our MVP screenshot, the COPD detection, the vital parameters tracking, the ECG detection bit by bit, the emotion detection. And this is the new UX we are going to design. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was 3 minutes exactly. So now let's move to the Q&A. Who'd like to start from our judges?
I can go. Yeah, so I would love to understand. So first of all, thank you for your pitch. It was great. I would love to understand better how dependent you are on hardware devices. So is this totally hardware agnostic, or do you only support some of the providers of hardware? How exactly does this work?
Okay. We are a totally software company. So our main focus is to create algorithms, to create all these kind of detection systems. But we are chained, we need to be paired with some devices, some wearables on some devices to get the raw data to get analyzed, except for the COPD detection that could be done just using the microphone of every smartphone.
Okay, and then maybe a follow-on. So if you say that you need some metrics, are all of the wearables that are currently available in the market kind of able to do this already?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are already compatible with something like a few millions of devices in Asia. We are focused on Asian devices because are cheaper, and we can satisfy the lack of the market that we have in Europe, because right now only some Fitbit, some Samsung Watch are able to do that. So using Asian devices, we could turn the problem of the lack of this kind of devices into an opportunity, give to the user whole system, a whole subscription model that integrate a subscription for our feature plus a devices for free.
Understood. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Still 2 minutes to go. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, thank you for your time. Great pitch. How do you think about after providing this data actually helping consumers to use it to change their behavior, which is a key component of it? And then how do you think of the go-to-market strategy vis-a-vis the other Apple Watches and the other wearables of the world that could get into the space too?
Okay, of course, you will never think to iPhone user, and we have a totally different addressing market, because generally who has an Apple guy or an Apple girl never turn to another kind of technology, so it's hard to gain iPhone user, and they are really defined and really shaped in a certainly kind. We are trying to address people that has a lower income or less ability to pay. Our addressing market is quite different from the Apple one, but of course we have to compare with Apple, that is the gold standard for that. The second question, so sorry, I forgot the other question you gave to me.
How do you translate the data that you're giving into changes in behavior?
Okay, about that we are still working. Of course, if you can see, as you can see in our pitch, we start to create a series of scores for cardiac patterns. So we give to you 5-star if your cardiac pattern is good, and 0 if it's not good, and we say what is wrong. And we are going to integrate in a few weeks, few months, a new kind of how I can explain scores, medical scores based on habits, on what you do, and that. So give to you advising to what you can improve of yourself, sleep more, or maybe walk more, all the data that we can get.
Thanks a lot, Lorenzo. We ran out of time and we have to move on, and we have to be fair, exactly 3 minutes and 4 minutes. So thanks a lot. If you'd like to add something, add it in the Hopin platform. And now we will be joined by our next startup. So Join Tech. Okay. Will you be sharing your screen?
Yes. 1 second.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Just give us a second for it to load.
Sure.
Yes, we can see it. I'm setting the clocks to 3 minutes. Take it away.
Thank you very much. So I'm Nishit Pancholi, co-founder and COO of Jointech Labs, a regenerative medicine solutions company based in USA and Europe. Human fat has always been known to have a major source of autologous stem cells, right? So the FDA under certain guidelines allows the processing of lipoaspirate, which means adipose tissue from the body. However, the bottleneck to empowering such therapies as a standard of care in the clinic has always been either you would need a lab in a doctor's office or certain other devices for fat tissue processing, which often require either a procedure or operating room where are not standardized or expensive and cumbersome. So what at Jointech Labs you have done to enable such kind of therapies is to make affordable, compact, and portable devices that can be used in the clinic. We have one for the US market. It's a FDA 510K cleared device called as Mini TC. And we have another version for the Europe and rest of the world. It's called Mini Stem System, and I'll get to the details in a second. So this is how Mini TC looks like. It's an FDA cleared, practically a lab in your hand. It's a patented disposable closed loop device, means all the processing happens within the device. That means you can do it in a room where you're sitting right now. No need of any operating or procedure rooms. It processes it down to a level of a tissue called as microfrat, which is the FDA allowable version of use for clinical therapies. The EU version of the product, the mini stem system, again, it's a patented disposable closed loop device, which means one patient, one unit, both for mini TC and mini stem system. It enables point of care use to extract single cell suspension called a stem cell fraction from fat tissue. These would be the clinical applications that we are focusing on, although the FDA clearance is pretty broad. We're working on providing clinical therapies for medical aesthetics and plastic and reconstructive surgery, orthopedics and sports medicine, as well as chronic wound healing, with all of them have a huge TAM. This is our business model where we sell Mini TC in the US and Mini Stem System worldwide, targeting healthcare professionals, clinics, and medical centers, mainly through a distribution network. So the gross margins for both Mini TC and Mini Stem system are pretty excellent, both on a distribution-based system as well as direct sales. We have just launched Mini TC in the US market. We have established US manufacturing and scalable production capability. We've signed up 4 distributors in the US, as well as talks with several more. We have a CE mark pending status in Europe, which will be cleared by June of this year. So we'll start distributing the product in Europe by Q3 of this year, and some other countries as well. So not just this device can be used as standalone, but we are also using them as a platform to develop certain clinical therapies, both internally as well as with several other external partners, including 3D bioprinting of tissues. This is our own internal development for a clinical therapy funded by an NIH Phase 1 grant in collaboration with Rush University, where we will meet with the FDA in probably later part of this year to define the clinical studies and put a therapeutic to the market through an FDA fast track program called as RMAT, or Regenerative Medicine Advanced Therapies, which allows you to market the product with safety data. We have several patents granted, 4 full patents granted in the US, as well as 4 worldwide, and several pending patents and CIPs. And these cover pretty much everything to do with the design of the devices, as well as the clinical applications of it. In terms of milestones, we've just launched Mini TC. We will launch Mini Stem system by Q3 of 2021, and after the CE mark is approved. It's already in process. Beyond that, with the CE mark, ISO certification, and FDA clearance, we'll be able to register the product in several other countries. We are working on the therapeutic product, which we'll file an IND for by the later part of this year and go for clinical studies. So should be in the market by about 3 years from now. It's a small but efficient team. Dr. Nathan Katz is the CEO, as a founder, as well as myself, a background in regenerative medicine. We have a great team put together for sales, PR, and marketing, as well as regulatory and quality, essential for any medtech company. We are raising a pre-series A round of $1.5 million for our worldwide sales and marketing efforts for our devices and initiation of our fast track development for pipeline therapeutic. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We are already in the Q&A session, and we have over 2 minutes. Are there any questions from our judges?
Yes, hi. Great presentation. I'm curious to know, based on the document you shared, what are the roadblocks that you see to your product being successfully launched? And then approximately, what time frame do you see those solutions coming up for those challenges in terms of time frame?
So as you know, the world has been suffering from the pandemic. So to roll out a technical product which requires technical training is right now our biggest roadblock. To pan it out in a phased manner through distributors to train their reps, as well as then to train the doctors. Right? We have initiated a lot of webinars, for training and so on, but it does kind of have a roadblock in terms of creating those channels to pan out the device in a successful manner. But I'm sure we are overcoming that step by step using online portals, as well as providing a bit of, as it opens up, trainings in person as well. So I think that I see as the biggest roadblock for the launch.
And this sort of time frame, again, as a follow-on for that being resolved, provided that
it's already in process. As I said, it's already, although it's going slow as what we would have not anticipated unless this pandemic hit. But other than that, I think as and when things are opening up in some states, even in the United States, I don't think that's going to be a problem as such in terms of timeline.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
A bit less than 1 minute to go. Any other questions?
Yep, great. Great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a question out of curiosity. Your targets are only clinics, or is it more also on doctors' offices, practitioners, and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so it could be as simple as a single doctor's practice down to a level of medical center and or hospitals. Anybody who is trying to practice regenerative medicine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, 10 seconds to go, so you can.
It's a tool that makes it much easier for even doctors who are not involved, right? Because that's the problem till now. The access is the problem. So we are providing that tooling to them.
Thank you very much. Make sure to go to Hopin and write more about you. Maybe share some links. And now we will be joined by Dhruv and Heather. So please share your screen. Okay, we can see it now. If you just go full screen, I'm starting the clock.
Yep, I can do that.
Okie dokie.
Full screen mode.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
working.
Okay,
you can also click on the hide button, not to.
Oh yeah, sorry.
All right, so you've got 3 minutes. Take it away.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'm Dhruv Agrawal, Chief Executive Officer at Ether Biomedical. At Ether, we are building the operating system for the rehabilitation industry. Globally, there is 500 million people who require some sort of assistive physical therapy device, ranging from your simple exercise equipment to complex robotic ones, such as prosthetics or exoskeletons or orthotics. But there is a big problem here because there is no communication between these assistive devices and the human body. And this missing and control and communication layer leads to non-intuitive control systems, data inefficient treatment approach, and a lack of biofeedback back to the patient. We enable this communication via our Rehab OS platform, which will be revolutionary, converting these dumb, inefficient hardware to smart, data-driven therapy solutions. So we basically look at musculoskeletal data using the sensors that we have developed, and our algorithms can perform muscle health monitoring and biomechanical analysis. And finally, we have a layer of cloud software which performs data analytics both from a therapist and a patient's perspective. Using this main Rehab OS platform, it allows us to impact the end-to-end patient journey by deploying mobility solutions, control system solutions, and monitoring and training solutions. Now, we have started to focus on a pathology-specific model, which allows us to implement the Rehab OS platform, build upon all the musculoskeletal data that we are collecting, and launch a modular umbrella platform. But the first pathology that we are targeting is upper limb amputation, clearly because this is a place where dropouts rates are much higher than any other therapy out there, and a data-driven multi-model approach fits perfectly here. So within the field of upper limb prosthetics, we see very low adoption and high dropouts. And this is because of high cost of devices, lack of fitting and training infrastructure, things which can be solved by digitization, and a very high dropout rate because of non-intuitive control systems and no systematic data-driven rehabilitation, things which can be solved using signal processing, biomarker acquisition, as well as artificial intelligence. So our first solution is a multi-model approach towards solving the problems in the upper limb amputation space, where we introduce Zeus, a multi-action bionic limb, which is the assistive device, a control system which starts from an amputee's intent to action to feedback, and a digital therapy platform which monitors the end-to-end progress of the patient right from when they get amputated to the point where they get extremely skilled in using a prosthetic device and get back to their daily lives. We have already conducted clinical testings in 15 countries and have already sold 25 units up till now. We have established distribution network in 7 countries, and we are seeing huge momentum with all the testings that we did last year. Our intention is to expand aggressively on top of this Rehab OS platform, transitioning from a pathology specific to a modular unified platform where all the assistive devices across the globe will be utilizing our platform to add musculoskeletal sensing functionality and data-driven rehabilitation functionality to their approach and devices in particular. We have built a team to see through this and already raised over 1.5 million euros, with which we have launched the first version of the product in the upper limb amputation domain. Right now, we are raising 3.5 million euros, out of which 2 million is already committed. And I look forward to your question and answers for.
Super. We are already in the Q&A. So who'd like to start? Okay, Marcus.
Thank you for the presentation. It was quite interesting. Just a quick question. So you developed the hardware of Zeus completely on your own, or do you rely on existing processes?
So we started with end-to-end development, which is the hardware, the sensors, and the softwares. Everything is developed by us, and the reason for that is we wanted a product in the market which will go through regulatory without any problem at all. But moving forward, we are moving more into the software side of the business, which is integrating our software and sensing into other existing devices. This also allows us to prove that this technology works and this model works by being the gold standard in upper limb amputation care, and would allow us to, get the market in paralysis, general MSK care, and things like that.
All right. Perhaps, Emily, do you have any questions for Dhruv?
Yeah, thank you for the great presentation. Obviously, a huge area of unmet need. What are some of the key KPIs and outcomes that you're looking to measure to make sure that you're getting the engagement and people are adhering to the technology?
So we are, with respect to the digital therapy platform, as I mentioned, it supports the patient's journey end to end. So we can look at parameters on 3 major scales. So we are looking at musculoskeletal parameters on how the EMG signal is improving over time, and how are the muscle parameters, which is motor unit recruitment and things like that, increasing over time. Second is biomechanical parameters such as joint angle estimation and things like that, to actually understand how better the mobility side of the thing is happening for an amputee or for a person with disability when they start using their assistive device. And then there is, of course, the digital therapy aspect of it, which includes adherence data points, usage monitoring, and things like that.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Anything from Jakob or Marcus or Joseph?
So I think I would only have questions regarding the hardware component, and I think we have had questions in this regard already. So therefore, I would leave it to Joseph.
Just one basic question, Dhruv. This is a first great presentation. Appreciate the insight into the product. What's the big company experience that you or your leadership team have in scaling kind of products across specific geographies or channels, and strategic partnerships? Kind of in a related question, any strategic partnerships you started to develop now with some of these bigger brands?
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of team, we have right now we are 20 members within the team, based in Poland, UK, India, respectively. The most senior hire and the most important hire that we made about 6 months ago was getting the managing director of the third largest ONP manufacturer around the globe, which was Matthew Parkinson. Apart from that, all the relationships that we are building with distributors right now. So for example, we are talking with the largest ONP chain in the US, which is Hanger Prosthetics and Orthotics, and all the relationships that we have built within the European system have been companies with ex-prosthetic or ex-assisted device experience. So these are all guys who have tested other bionic solutions, sold other bionic solutions, and have chosen us over the other bionic solutions for this.
Thank you very much. We ran out of time. And if you'd like to add something, of course, you know where to go, Hopin platform. And now, if Irene can hear us somewhere, join us, because it should be your turn right now. But we will move to Pulse Wave and Peter while we're waiting for Irene. Okay, we can see you. We can see your screen. If you go full screen, I think that's better.
All right. How is that now?
Still, we can see the layout of PowerPoint.
Okay, I think I'll leave it from here.
It's all right. It can be like this. It's not a problem. So if you're ready, I'm starting the clock. You've got 3 minutes to pitch.
Thanks very much. Welcome to PulseWave. As you can see on the right bottom corner, we are an innovative company backed by InnoSwiss, which is the Swiss state innovation arm. We have applied and have been accepted for a 1 million Swiss francs grant from the Swiss government for joint development of our device and joint research with the University of Applied Sciences in Bern and the University Clinic in Bern. What we're doing is, can you see my slides changing? Can you see my slides changing?
No.
For now, we see the first one.
Okay, so let me
Yes,
go.
now it's changing.
Now it's moving.
Okay, we're doing CVD monitoring all day in real time, long-term, AI supported for the first time in clinical history, pre-event and post-event. What we're doing is we're building a discrete monitoring device fixed on any eyeglasses. It's important to understand that we're not selling eyeglasses. So we're working on existing eyeglasses frames, collect crucial information, process them via deep learning algorithms, and make them available for doctors before CVD events can occur. We're talking about heart attacks and strokes. The market, I don't think I need to expand very much. I think all of you are aware that the market is about to explode in terms of CAGR. We're talking 27.9% during the next 7 years. What we're going to do is the following. Everybody knows that treatment, hospitalization of a CVD event, of a CVD patient in the US costs a median of $53,000 US, including after treatment. You also see on the right bottom corner that in the age group above 55, 77% of the US population always wear eyeglasses. The higher you go in age groups, the higher this percentage comes. I'm not talking about reading glasses, I'm talking about people who all the time wear glasses. Using eyewear gives us the opportunity to take measurements, scientifically proven indicators from behind the ear on the occipital artery. Of course, you understand that this gives us the opportunity to take measurements on both sides of the skull, on 2 independent arteries, which will give unprecedented accuracy. Everybody who works on a solution that is wrist-based does not get to this kind of accuracy. Also, if you're looking at the Apple Watch 6, for example, if you want to get an ECG, you have to touch the Apple Watch with your other hand, and you get a 1-point measurement. What we're going to do is we're going to take these measurements, ECG, PTT, and PWV, all the time in real time. PTT and PWV are not measurements that we have invented. They have been around for already a very long time, and we're measuring them on the best possible space in the human body. What we're going to do is we are about to utilize a commodity that is sold today by the millions every day. It's called the temple tip, the end of the temple. We are integrating ambient light sensors, Bluetooth, memory, and a miniature battery into this. This technology, of course, is patented. According to our patent and IP research, we are the only ones who are able to take vital signs from behind the ear as part of existing eyeglasses. The magic sauce is here. Up and set up, we will ask certain questions in the app, defining the user, the patient into certain risk groups. We will take raw user data with our measurements. These are going to be transferred from the smartphone to the cloud. There we'll be able to add our deep learning and AI capabilities. monitoring will be done on the cloud, calculations will be done on the cloud, and alerting will be done to the doctors exclusively. We have a partnership, which is really important for us on the right bottom side. Second largest EHR, digitalized patient database in the world by Israel's second largest health insurer, Maccabi. The business model is to get family doctors and health insurance companies to reimburse our product, as in an unprecedented way we will be able to take PWV, PTT, ECG, blood pressure, real time, all day long, over years. Patients will not have to abandon our device.
Peter, just letting you know, we are already in a Q&A session and we've got only 1 minute and 30 seconds left. So I'm not sure if you'd like to carry on or listen to questions from judges and maybe...
No, happy to take questions. That's fine.
Okay. So are there any questions? I'm resuming the clock now.
Just thank you, Peter, for the presentation. Quite interesting and a very hot topic, vital signs behind the ear. You said you're not selling eyeglasses. So how is the business model here? So are you in contact with glasses manufacturers, or how do you want to sell your product?
The focal point are not glasses manufacturers in the first place, but opticians. Opticians will be our fulfillment partners. Patients, users will go to the opticians, they will fix our device to existing eyeglasses and make 100% margin selling our device. Not only 100% margin, but also a 30% margin from the monthly subscription fee that we are collecting, thus creating a passive income for the optician.
So the electronic you described you want to integrate, that needs space for sure. And how do you avoid that? It looks like a hearing aid or pretty bulky. So where are you from in perspective of a working prototype?
Size-wise, if you remember the picture that I shown in terms of the temple tip, we are aiming for exactly the same size. Components today are miniaturized until a level which will allow us not to enlarge the existing temple tip.
Peter, unfortunately, I have to stop you here because we ran out of time. But feel free to share everything else that you couldn't share here on Hopin in the Great Pitch Contest stage. As we have to move on to the next pitch of the day, I need to be fair to other startups. 3 minutes pitch and 4 minutes of Q&A. And now we'll be joined by Irene. Irene heard us and came to us, so we're happy that you made it. And we can see your screen now, setting the clock to 3 minutes. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes,
so
yes, I am. Hello, my name is Irene, and I'm a Chief Development Officer of Farm Bonus, the application that aims to change the way healthcare industry communicates. Let's highlight the problem of the marketplace, and it has two sides. First, doctors and pharmacists, they get lost and confused while digging the information from numerous resources. And on the other hand, pharmaceutical companies face the arrogant and sometimes cold attitude from the specialists. They're building the wall by approaching the specialists with face-to-face meetings that are perceived as unethical and during the pandemic, even impossible. We made a solution for healthcare specialists. It's all-in-one app that is verified by the community and by the experts. For pharmaceutical companies, it's unique digital marketplace with the direct and transparent opportunity of interaction with a healthcare specialist. The app is everything. We have news, library, education, community, tools, and algorithms. More than 10 models. And besides the library that was designed specifically for each specialist profile, and the education that gives an opportunity for healthcare specialists to get a free presentations, lectures, videos, and others, We build much more, for example, tools and algorithms, or pharmacovigilance. It's a unique offer to send a side effect report directly from a doctor to a pharmaceutical manufacturer. Our competitors are segregated by the tools that we have already made in the application. They have professional websites, specialist handbooks, consiliums, educational courses, medical representatives, and conferences. The value of the application has already been recognized by our partners in Belarus. There are more than 50 companies, and half of them are pharmaceutical big players that you can see on a screen. The business model is simpler than it seems. We take the client products and we transform it into the form of lectures, presentations, studies, and analytics. Then we direct it to our users, doctors and pharmacists. Our revenue model is simple as it seems. The subscription, the services, education, publications, integrations, and production development of tools, software, presentations, videos, and others. We are operating in Belarus since 2017 and now have more than 21K verified users. Total revenue in 2020 of more than 300,000 euros and the growth of more than 300% compared to 2019. Farm Bonus is a handbook for almost every pharmacist and every second doctor in the country. We're looking forward and we launched the office in Warsaw. That's why we're looking for investment opportunities, effective collaborations, partnerships, and others. Here is our core team in Poland. And I think that with the experience in medicine, pharmacy, and business relations of our team, we're able to change the world of healthcare. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for Irene?
Yeah, so I could maybe go ahead. So what exactly is your internationalization strategy? So when and how will you scale this internationally?
Well, we have already begun to scale the project internationally. We have partners in Ukraine, in Kazakhstan. Right now, we are communicating with investors from United Arab Emirates, but the launch is already made in Poland. The demo is ready, and we're hitting the market just right now.
Great. Joseph?
What yeah, so great presentation, Irene. Just a
Thank
couple
you.
of questions. One is for your subscription model, have you already started to see any kind of attrition? So people canceling, and then what reasons do people commonly give if you've gotten feedback from customers that they no longer see value in the literature or the material you product you provide?
I will a little bit explain again our business model. So doctors and pharmacists, the users of the application, they get it for free. So our customers, they are companies. It's pharmaceutical companies, manufacturers, distributors, laboratories, and clinics, and they don't cancel the subscription because it's a contract. We're going through a compliance processes with every company. It's mostly big pharma and sign a contract. Of course, after the contract is expired, some companies may not want to proceed the cooperation, but there are not a lot of them, and mostly it's because of their budgets or because of the change of management. I would say like that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Still 2 minutes to go. Any other questions?
Yeah, great presentation, Irene. Thanks for sharing. How do you think about the next steps in terms of growth and team build? And can you just talk a little bit more about your current team, the skills are on the table and who you're looking to hire? Notice that right now there's not a CEO.
Yeah, with a great pleasure. Our core team right now is in Belarus. We have a back office of programmers, designers, developers that are based in Belarus. So they make all this content, all this software, also for a Polish office. And right now in Poland, we have 4 specialists, including myself. And of course, we are expanding the team. We need a sales and marketing managers that specifically they had an experience in working with the pharmaceutical industry or medical industry, basically healthcare. So it's kind of challenging topic, I would say, because the specialists that we are looking for, they have to have an experience in those fields. But on the other hand, they have to be good sales or good marketing managers. They have to combine all these skills. Belarusian team, it has it all. We have a great sales department, great marketing department, a content development department as well, because we make our own content. So yeah, it's already full. It's more than 20 people in Belarus. A Polish office is developing, so we're looking for the talents right now.
Okay. 20 seconds to go. Would you like to add anything, Irene, for
I just
the
would like
viewers?
to thank everybody, and if you want to network via the platform, I would be happy. Thank you, guys. It's my pleasure to participate in Wolf Summit this year.
Great.
Good luck.
So thanks a lot. Thank you very much. And I think that we have the last startup of this session joining us, and it's Pavel with Doc Droid. So we're waiting for you to share the screen, or we are just loading it. Okay, perfect. So now you have 3 minutes to pitch. Take it away.
Okay. Thank you for your attention. We are Telehealth AI. Our company introduced the first project. It's a DocDroid. DocDroid tried to help to answer the question, how do you feel? The question looks simple and looks like everybody can answer that, but this case serious problems because your answer is based on your senses and memory, and your memory can fail. It's happens all the time. People forget. People afraid of something, and it changes his conversation, his mind. Communication is sometimes a problem. Is language is problem, problem, cultural problem, and simply about 30% of people lie their doctors, lie in the terms of their health. And this all, everything of this led to serious consequences because 50% of clinical diagnosis in the clinical, not the first contact, are fails. And 25% of medical mistakes are also failed because the bad diagnosis. And what is the answer? And answer is a very close to the calculator. Use a calculator to count better. Use your calendar to don't forget the meeting, and you can use your health assistant to carry your health better. Our health assistant collects a lot of data from your electronic devices, from smartphone, from wearables like smartwatches, from sports band, every kind of devices. We are device independent, and in this on this large scale of data, he finds out what the case of your actual health state. He finds out why your headache right now. He find out what to do. Of course, others will find a treat, automatic collects this all of data, and health specialists make a remote diagnosis because headache is a personal thing, but sometimes things going more serious, and specialists have to care about it. And we are going to show the specialists, the doctors, trainers, other specialists, as clear and as useful as possible the picture of your health, your data-related picture of health in the log term, with the indicator with the automatically indicated possibly problematic parts of your health history, and all of this is designed for specialists in the other point of view, not the mobile application, but the web portal. And we take everything the best from the fitness apps, telemedicine, CRM, like a Cree or Babylon Health, and design specialist application for cardiologists, for example, and take it the best of them to as simple and as possible and as useful as possible way to the doctors. Because we offer by our application better health to 8 billion people. We offer to 100 million trainers and athletes better result and possibility to work remotely because they see the progress of their people they care. Simply the same for the doctors and medics. They can remotely, more accurate and without mistakes, make a diagnosis even remotely. So 100 million employers have a better workforce, and about 3,000 insurance companies pays less for the insurance of health insurance or medical mistakes insurance. Our businesses, every of them pay the part of the value we give to us as the small contribution, as small as possible. And we think this a lot of people and a lot of institutions and a lot of professionals can use it, and everybody of them can contribute a small part of this to us. And this is our team. We think we are quite complete right now, so we are developing our application. We have on the last stage of development. We are going to finish market beta, something like first version of application in 3 months, and going to the commercial market in half of a year. And right now we are looking for investment or corporate partner to introduce our product to the market.
Thank you very much. We are already in the Q&A. We've got less than 2 minutes to go. Who'd like to start with the questions? Are there any questions?
I think Joseph wanted
to.
Yeah,
sorry, Jakob. So Pavel, great presentation. Thank you for the insight. Could you talk a little bit more about the differentiation from existing competition that you have? What's the appeal that you see in your offering versus what's currently on the market? My perception is there's a lot of competition out there. So what do you think differentiates you?
Yes, of course. The strongest competition are producer apps like Apple Health, like Samsung Health. They look like they have the same project. So they collect the health related data as we do, but we are device independent, and we can collect data from a lot of devices in the one time, and we are also taking data from the environment. This is the most important difference, because we are taking data from the weather online weather systems. So we know what the weather is, for example. We know what the allergens are on the air, what the pollution is on the air, and we take this data together. We're matching all the data from the different sources, not only the device, not only Samsung smartwatch, but all the sources we can connect in the same time. And all the sources are the background, the environment of the health-related data, like a heart pulse or heart, blood pressure. And this everything works in some environment. And second thing is the sharing this data. All of this application are very poor in sharing data, and everything they can share is a EKG, so the heart pulse diagram.
Thank you,
the heart pulse
Pavel.
chart.
Unfortunately, I have to stop you here because we ran out of time. So thank you very much. Make sure to share some links on Hopin so that everyone can check what you offer. So thanks a lot, Pavel. This was the last pitch of this session. That was the theme of MedTech. But I think that maybe we can get to meet you a bit better because there are many startups watching. So maybe we do a small reverse pitch if you'd like to tell us a bit more about what you're looking for here at Wolf Summit in terms of startups or partners. That would be great. So maybe Emily, you'd like to start and let us know a bit more?
Yeah, happy to. I'm an investor at NEA focused on healthcare. I work on digital health and healthcare services and biotech. So looking for any investments in those stages. We invest across the life cycle of a company from the earlier stages through growth investing, typically larger check sizes given the size of our fund, and super excited to meet everyone here today.
Thanks a lot. So now, Marcus, if you're ready, actually, Marcus is here not for the first time, and it's thanks to our cooperation with Navispace. So if you'd like to tell us a bit more about what you are looking for at Wolf Summit, that would be great.
Yeah, thank you, Rosie, and thank you for being again here. It's a great event. I always look forward to be here. Yeah, what we are looking for, EBV Electronic, we are a semiconductor distributor. Myself, I'm in charge of the segment healthcare and personal devices. We sell semiconductors, but we also support startup companies in their development, in getting the right contacts to design resources plus production resources. So I look for innovative, interesting companies who are willing to work together with with one of the biggest semiconductor distributor in Europe. We have our own EBV IoT Hero Award during the innovation contest. So if people are willing to register there, they have the chance to win 10,000 euro as a cash award. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So, Joseph, it's your turn. Let us know what you're looking for here today during the conference.
Great, thank you, Rosie, and thanks to all the participants, and nice to meet all of you here on the summit. My name is Joseph Aramuthu. I work for Salesforce, which I think has become something of a household name these last several months, leading provider of CRM technology globally. So what am I looking for? Typically, Salesforce looks for innovative technology companies that are passionate about driving betterment to society using insights from data. Which is kind of a loaded way of saying, how are you looking at data, providing access to data, and generating real insights for people to better their lives and better society? I'm particularly interested in those who are focused on the ESG side of things. We've seen increasingly a focus on companies that are trying to make investment in making the world a better place. So extremely excited to be here. This is my first summit, and looking forward to meeting a lot of different folks here. Thanks, Rosie.
Thanks a lot. And now it's Jakob's turn. You're here also not for the first time. So if you can repeat, one more time, let us know what you are looking for here as a representative of APX.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm an investment manager at APX. We invest all over Europe into as early stage companies as possible. So really oftentimes pre-product, pre-traction. We invest into software companies throughout all industries that you can think of. We are really, really active. Last year, we've invested in over 40 companies. This year, potentially even more. We're backed by 2 German corporates. On the one hand, Axel Springer, the biggest media company in Europe, and on the other hand, Porsche, the car manufacturer. We are not a strategic investor, so we don't only invest in mobility and media, but also in other spaces. And hit me up if you're an early stage company searching for some guidance and obviously money from Europe.
Thanks a lot. This concludes this MedTech session. There's going to be actually another one tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, at 10 a.m. CET. 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. CET will be connected to MedTech and well-being. So if that's the topic of your interest, make sure to join us tomorrow as well. So once again, I'd like to thank you for joining the session, and I hope that you will fill out the forms, assessment forms, so that we can, count the votes and select the best startup to pitch tomorrow in the finals. So once again, we've had here Joseph from Salesforce, Jakob from APX, Emily from NEA, and Marcus from EBV Electronic. And now we will move to a slightly different sector, virtual reality. So see you soon. Thanks a lot.